His Excellency Bassam Sabbagh, Permanent Representative of Syrian Arab Republic. You may address the conference.
شكرا السيد الرئيس.
Thank you, President. First of all, I have the pleasure to congratulate you, sir, and your country on your presidency of this 10th NPT review conference. We are certain that thanks to your diplomatic skills, our work will be successful. We align ourselves also with a statement made by Azerbaijan on behalf of the non-aligned movement. President, every time that a NPT review conference is held, we have a new opportunity to give a broad and far-reaching assessment of this very important treaty, which entered into force, which has been in force for more than 50 years. The Syrian Arab Republic, much like the other first signatories of the NPT, is very much aware of the dangers stemming from the efforts to obtain or acquire nuclear weapons and the threats that they pose to international and regional peace and security, as was the case in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Today we do have several questions before us. The fears of nuclear threats, are they real or not? Are states parties? Have they been able to implement the NPT in a balanced and non-discriminatory fashion or not? And the most important one for us in the Middle East, why this resolution from 1995 has still not been implemented? This is a resolution that calls for a zone free from nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East, while it's been 20 years since this resolution was adopted. The Syrian Arab Republic President is committed to all the provisions of the NPT, and we believe that the credibility of the NPT implies the implementation of the 3 pillars thereof. These pillars should be implemented in parallel. We reiterate the importance of nuclear disarmament that is full and verifiable, and this is the represent of the view from 1996, which sets forth that the use or the threat of use of the use of nuclear weapons would be catastrophic. Indeed, the indefinite extension of the NPT, President, and the result of an agreement on all resolutions that we have accepted by consensus during the 1995 conference. These include the adoption of a resolution that calls for the creation of a zone free from nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. The Syrian Arab Republic has spared no effort to implement this resolution. When we were permanent member of the Security Council, we submitted a draft resolution, this was in 2003, to assist ridding the Middle East of nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction. However, this initiative was aborted by one influential state at the Council. Moreover, Syria acceded to the Chemical Weapons Treaty in 2013, voluntarily so, and this is a step towards creating this nuclear weapons-free zone. While all Middle Eastern countries are ready to take the necessary practical steps to create this zone, Israel is defying the international community and rejecting the NPT and refused to accede to the NPT as a non-nuclear state and refused to submit its nuclear installations to the IAEA safeguard system. This is a threat to international and regional peace and security and undermines the credibility and universality of the NPT. Israel is refusing to cooperate because Israel is supported by the United States of America and Western allies who are not contented with this but also violated commitments under Article 1 of the NPT. And for decades, the United States and other Western countries have given Israel modern nuclear technology, which has allowed Israel to build its nuclear military capacity. States in the Middle East have demonstrated a large amount of flexibility during the review conference in 2010 and made an important step forward to implement the 1995 resolution on the Middle East. And they have requested the United Nations Secretary General and the three co-sponsors of this resolution, and in consultation with countries of the region, to hold the 2012 conference to create a zone free from nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. However, and unfortunately, this conference was not held because of dithering on obstacles put in place by the United States to please Israel. This political dithering is clear and was also seen during the 2015 review conference when two countries, two allies of Israel, hindered the adoption of a draft outcome document of this conference. And this was despite all efforts made, undertaken, and initiatives put forward by several countries, particularly the Russian Federation. Following this impasse and the non-application of the 1995 resolution on the Middle East, and to address this deadlock, the General Assembly adopted the decision asking the Secretary General to hold a conference to come up with a legally binding treaty to create this zone free from nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. This initiative came outside of the NPT and was approved by all countries of the region. However, Israel refused to and continues to refuse to support this initiative. Even worse, the United States of America boycotted this initiative at a time when the US is a depository state of the NPT and is one of the three co-sponsors of the resolution from 1995 on the Middle East. My country would like to reiterate the creation of this zone is a key part of states' parties' commitments under the NPT, and we call for the implementation of these commitments fully. And we reiterate that the resolution on the Middle East remains valid until a point when all the objectives have been implemented to the full. And we also believe that serious measures to implement this is a key to ensuring that this conference can be a success. President, the Syrian Arab Republic would like to reiterate the inalienable right of states parties to obtain nuclear technology and to use this technology in different fields. And we call for the implementation of Article 4 of the NPT in a balanced and non-discriminatory fashion. We also reiterate during this conference our commitment under the NPT and our commitment to this principle. My country will reiterate the role played by the IAEA as set forth in its charter or statute and in Article 3 of the NPT. We need to ensure that there is a balance struck between the IAEA oversight activities and its other activities pertaining to nuclear technology and the peaceful uses thereof. We should not have a legally binding measures and the other measures which are voluntary. My country believes that we should not have technical assistance submitted to economic or political constraints. This runs counter to the IAEA statute, and therefore we condemn the illegitimate unilateral coercive measures imposed by Western countries on my country and on other countries. This hinders our access to the necessary technical assistance for the peaceful uses of atomic energy, particularly in the fields of health, cancer treatment, and this has a negative impact on our citizens' lives. To conclude, President, the Syrian Arab Republic delegation hopes that this conference will make true progress and implement the objectives of the NPT. We stand ready to participate in a constructive fashion in the work of this conference and to cooperate with other parties to reach one single comprehensive outcome document that will be adopted by consensus and will take into account the concerns of all states parties to the NPT. Thank you very much, President.
I thank the representative of the Syrian Arab Republic for his statement and the kind words addressed to the presidency.